Hello, my name is Rachel Pyock, and I'm going to share with you some quick tips for success with the Alaska Native and Native American student scholarships. We're going to briefly look at tribal identification. We'll review the SERI Educational Resource Handbook. We'll look at competitive versus non-competitive scholarships, as well as highlight some national Native scholarship programs. Look at Native or rural student services, and then find out how Facebook is really your friend through this process. First step, before we even get into looking at scholarships, you will need to have some type of tribal identification, whether it's a certificate of Indian blood. Best though, if you can actually have a tribal membership card or number. And you can see the picture on your screen is actually from the SERI Handbook, where it talks about, your tribe, a shareholder for a village association or for an ANCSA corporation. That's what you'll need. The more that you have of those, the more scholarships you can apply for. So make sure you have your documentation. If you need help with that, please feel free to let me know. My contact information is at the end because I'm actually working with families to establish this. So, the handbook. Now, hopefully you already have this handbook. Hopefully you've requested it. If not, you can always request one from me. All the information in this handbook is up to date, and there's always some handouts that I put in with it when I give them. Please use those handouts. It'll walk you through what a purpose statement is. A lot of scholarships ask for one. It'll walk you through how do you ask for a letter of reference and what different documents you need. So don't discard those handouts that come with the book. Please use them. If you look at page 7 of the handbook, you'll see there's a calendar. And it's a little bit hard to read because I didn't break it up for you, but I'll show you. The very top here is what you would do in your sophomore spring. So the spring of your sophomore year. And this next section is your junior year. And the last part is your senior year. Now don't freak out. Maybe you're like, I'm a senior. I haven't done any of this. That's okay. Read through the whole thing, see which items you have to do, and then just go for it. This is if you want to kind of stretch things out, and if you are looking at using this for multiple years, okay? So don't worry. There are still scholarships you can apply for even if you're a senior already. Now, the way the book is put together, it actually gives you scholarships by region. So if you look at, there's the Arctic Slope region, the Doyon, Cook Inlet, which is where KPBSD students were in the Cook Inlet and the Chugach regions. So the book is based on that. You first find your region, and then there will be all the scholarships that you can apply for. So for instance, if you're in the Cook Inlet region, like a lot of our students are, you will see that they actually list all the different scholarships. Now, I just took some pictures of these. There are way more. But it'll give you links, it'll give you contact information, as well as a little bit of about it. It will go from every region in the state, because maybe you're living in the Cook Inlet region, but maybe your tribe is from the Bering Straits area. It'll give those that information as well. Also, there are other scholarships that they have for underrepresented population groups. You'll see there's the Bill Dickey Golf Scholarship, or if you want to go into nursing, into hotel management, meteorology. So once you have found out what you're going to apply for your tribal scholarships, look through the other ones. See if there's another scholarship that'll fit you. So here, this part, I want you to listen closely. This is the big ticket money item here. I don't know if you know this, but many of the scholarships from tribal organizations and corporations are not competitive at all. So then we have to figure out, okay, what's competitive and what's not competitive. Well, for competitive, you have to actually compete for the scholarship. Your application needs to be better than almost all of them. Now, usually there's more money for those, but they're a little bit more difficult to receive. However, they're still attainable. So you still need to apply for them. But a lot of the tribal scholarships are actually non-competitive, which means if you qualify for it and you fill out the paperwork successfully, you'll get that money. So it's typically less, but they're extremely easy to get. So here's a for instance. With a SERI competitive merit-based scholarship, you're looking at anywhere from $8,000 for a school year to $20,000, depending on your grades. I think you have to have a 3.8 grade point average to get the $20,000 a year. So that's a huge chunk of money. However, for the general scholarship, it's not competitive. You just get the money if you fill it out and if you qualify. You can get up to $6,000 per academic year. So when I talk with students, a lot of them say, oh, my grades aren't that good. I mean, I'm passing, but they aren't great, and I don't think I could get a scholarship. That's not the case here. With the general scholarships or the non-competitive, you can get that money. And so do not be afraid if maybe you have just a 2.0. Don't be afraid. There are many scholarships, many ways for you to get the education funding that you need. So here's an example. This is from the Chugach Heritage site. You'll see that they have 4 different scholarships listed. The first 2 are non-competitive. And you know how I know that? It doesn't say it's competitive. And that's kind of your clue. But the bottom 2, it says this competitive scholarship. This competitive scholarship, which means there's a few number of them. And you're going to have to actually compete for them. Otherwise, like the top 2, they're not competitive. You qualify, you fill out the information, you fill out the application, and you can go ahead and receive that funding. This is from the SERI website. You can actually see there's a general scholarship here and then the competitive scholarship. Okay, so competitive scholarships will usually tell they're competitive, or they'll tell you how many scholarships they offer that year, and that's your cue. That's the little clue there. Like, okay, they're only offering 10. Okay, this is a competitive scholarship. For instance, with ANTHC, the Alaska Native Tribal Health Consortium, it says they're giving out 10, and this is competitive, okay? So most tribal corporation scholarships, they'll have a general scholarship. You see if you qualify. Usually the qualifications are you have to be an enrolled member. There'll be some, usually sometimes a GPA, qualification, but usually it's like a 2.0. It's not very high. Sometimes they're different. Sometimes there's not even a GPA qualification, okay? And then there are competitive ones where maybe you have to have a little bit better grades and you'll actually have to compete. Okay, so let's say you're going through a whole bunch of websites and you get to a page that looks like this. Now this happens to me all the time because I'm doing research for these, where it'll start to say information about scholarships, but there might not be a link on that page. You just call them. You scroll down to the bottom of the website and just call them. Because more than likely it's linked. I know in this case it's linked in a different area, but you might just have to call them. And this happens continually. I see it all the time. So if you can't get all the information you need from the website, scroll down to the bottom of the web page. They'll have a contact phone number. Just go ahead and call them. Now, let's say you're thinking, okay, college is going to be like between $20,000 and $35,000 a year. This scholarship over here, it's only for $250, but it's non-competitive. I'd say still fill it out. Think about that. Let's say it takes you an hour to fill out that scholarship form. You've just made a $250 in 1 hour. It's pretty good hourly rate, okay? I've actually heard from 2 different tribes in our school district area saying that every year they have scholarships that go unused. Or not every year, but on some years, because nobody applies for them. So especially, go ahead, apply for as many as you can, especially those non-competitive ones, because you're guaranteed some money, or mostly guaranteed as long as you fill out the application completely. But they want to support our students. That's the reason the scholarships are there. They want to support our students. So even if it's like, it's only $250, still do it. you've just made $250. Now, those were the Alaska ones. There are still some other scholarships that you should know about. The first one being the Full Circle Scholarship. Now, this is from the American Indian College Fund. This scholarship, and all of these will be linked on the website that I'll show you in a bit. For this one, you apply once and they match scholarships that will fit you. For some, they have tribal scholarships for tribal colleges and some for general colleges. But that's one you should be looking at. So once you've looked at Alaskan scholarships, check out the Full Circle Scholarship. As well, check out the Cobell Scholarship and the College Horizons program. All of these, again, are going to be linked. And then the RAISE program, if you are looking to go into medicine. The RAISE program through ANTHC, that's your ticket to scholarships and a really great workforce program. So we do have a newly created Title VI site. So this is all the information that you have on here. I've actually created a website so you can look and just click through the different scholarships. Okay, we're almost done. When you're thinking about what college you want to go to, as you're looking through scholarships, look and see if the college or the school has a Native or Rural Student Services program. UAA does, UAF does. APU is actually close to becoming a tribal college, so they have a good support system there. These service groups or associations can actually help you get more scholarships. They can also help you get into the more difficult programs. Like for instance, if you want to get into a pre-med program, you want to get in the medical field, but it might be hard to get in, all of the experts who I've been researching say, first, go to your Native or Rural Student Services and have them help you get into that program. That's what they are there for. They'll also just have general help for you in college. And I know that there are some organizations that have Fry Bread Fridays, just like we have here on the peninsula at times. So they're a great way to feel connected. But so that's a good thing. When you're looking at college, check and see what they have. If they have a student services program like that. And almost at the very end, Facebook is your friend in this. It really is. Parents, if you're looking at just wanting to become familiar with the different scholarships that are available, click on the Facebook pages for the Cobell Scholarship, for the Full Circle Scholarship, for your tribal organizations, because many of them will be posting links, especially now during scholarship application time. My work Facebook newsfeed is full of scholarship deadlines. So this is a really great way to be continually see what you actually need to do. Some of them will actually offer to put you on a mailing list or an email list. Those are also helpful. American College Fund or American Indian College Fund continually sends me scholarship updates. Lastly, here is the new site that we have created, and it'll also be linked to our school district website under the Title VI program. And it has all the information we talked about. The handbooks are linked, as well as corporation sites, as well as the Full Circle scholarships, as well as checklists for students to go through each year for high school to get ready for secondary education. So check that out. If you have any questions, please let me know. My name is Rachel Pyock again. My number is there. My email address is there, and I'm the Title VI specialist for the school district. And one of my big jobs is just to serve our students. So thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.